đang gửi hình không em? Có thì gửi cho anh nha. Chào 15 anh chị đang xem nha. Dạ anh chào anh Ty Nguyễn 799 nha.
Chào các bạn, hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn cách tinh chỉnh để bạn có được chất lượng thu âm audio của bạn một cách tốt nhất. Mình làm cái video này là bởi vì lý do khi mà mình sử dụng cái phần mềm OBS
Hey
này
guys, today we're diving into another truly horrifying case. If you want to support my channel, make sure to subscribe and stay active. It really helps me out. I'd be super grateful for that. Let's get started. A calculating manipulator can spend years keeping their target close, subjecting them to constant mental pressure, emotional degradation, and even physical mistreatment, while still managing to convince them that it's all their own fault, that they somehow deserve such treatment. What kind of person becomes that target? Someone who falls prey to manipulation like this? More often than not, it's someone struggling with low self-esteem, someone emotionally vulnerable and easily influenced. These kinds of control seekers are often what some might call one-target types. They find one person to torment and stick with them for life. Rodney and Morgan Metzger grew up in the same Florida town, lived just a few blocks apart, and attended the same high school. They met when Morgan was 14, and Rodney had just turned 17. Almost immediately, a romantic relationship began between them. It was the first serious emotional connection for both, and they believed it would last forever. Rodney was attentive and affectionate toward his younger girlfriend. He brought her gifts, planned surprises, and took her on dates to beautiful places. From the outside, they looked like the perfect couple, and over time, their feelings only seemed to grow stronger. Their families didn't object to the relationship, though at first, they assumed it was just a phase, and that both would eventually grow out of it. In 2008, Rodney officially proposed, and Morgan said yes. She had just turned 20, and Rodney was 23. They believed they were ready for this next step, and for building a real family together. A year later, they had a large wedding and moved into their own home, nestled in a quiet, remote neighborhood on the edge of town. It was a peaceful and scenic spot, close to nature. Ideal, they thought, for raising a daughter or son in a calm and safe environment. Not long after the wedding, Rodney's personality began to change, but Morgan didn't give it much thought. He had always been a bit possessive and watched her closely, but she believed this was just his way of showing love and care. The couple continued to build their life, make plans for the future, and dream of one day becoming parents. Then in 2010, tragedy struck the Metzger family. Rodney's younger brother, Kevin, passed away at the age of 19 after a long and painful struggle with leukemia. His passing was devastating for everyone, but it hit Rodney the hardest. He was overwhelmed with grief and couldn't cope with the loss. After Kevin's death, Rodney became bitter and emotionally unstable. He would have sudden bursts of anger that he couldn't control. Morgan tried her best to support him, believing that with time, the emotional wounds would heal and the Rodney she had fallen in love with would return. But the more Morgan cared for him and tried to meet his needs, the more demanding Rodney became. He acted childish, picked fights over trivial things, and constantly blamed Morgan for his frustrations and failures. Still, she stood by him, defending his increasingly erratic and at times unsettling behavior as a symptom of deep emotional pain. She hoped he would